Good morning. It is Thursday and it's just turning 6 o'clock. Thanks for being with us on THV 11 and streaming on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller.
I'm Hayden Balgavy. It is going to be a beautiful day today, as meteorologist Tracy Bean is about to tell you, so looking forward to it. Now, traffic, we still don't know yet. That is a hypothesis if we are assuming it's going to be okay because we're getting closer to the weekend, Ashley King.
That's right, yeah. Thursdays are a little bit busy usually if we're just going on what usually happens in the past. But I mean, we have, tomorrow where there's usually no traffic. So we've got that to look forward to.
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Well, the good news is we are not seeing any weather impacting things, and we won't tomorrow either. And listen, I am Little Orphan Annie with my red hair. I had an unfortunate perm from my Aunt Bonnie when I was
younger. Well, I ain't got any Warbucks because I ain't got no money, but you guys got this, so take her away.
Yeah, instead of Sandy, I have George, and I got the redhead for you, but I'm not singing. All right, let's take a look outside this morning, and we are seeing a few clouds, and those clouds will be breaking apart just a little bit, but they're going to start to increase as we're heading into the evening. And you see there's a few rain showers down to our south. Could see a few more later today and maybe even tomorrow, but most of those are going to stay out of our area. But another beautiful shot of our sunrise. Again, a nice start to the day, and it's a little chilly out there, but I want to see your sunrise. It's always really nice when we've got a few clouds and again, little breaks here and there. It makes for the prettiest colors. You can send them to me at 501-376-1111, and don't forget to tell me your name and where you're watching us from. So this morning we've got some 40s to our north, 56 in central Arkansas, and a few 60s here and there as we are heading into the afternoon. We're all going, for the most part, be in those upper 60s. A few areas will be right there in those low 70s, but mostly cloudy skies again, but not expecting any widespread rain. It's going to be nice and calm and cooler. And then as we're heading into the next few days, although we do see this little surge here in rain, it's going to be down to the south. So I'm not expecting it to impact things too much. And as we said, weekend's going to be beautiful, nice and clear, no rain to speak of. A little chilly in the mornings, but it will be nice and sunny by the afternoons, Ashley. So we're going to go ahead and cross our fingers that today traffic isn't bad and tomorrow it won't be either.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. Right now, we just have a beautiful sunrise. I had to leave this up. Tracy pulled up this shot and I thought, okay, I'm not changing this. This is too gorgeous. We need to look at this. So 4:30, is that what we're looking at, Tracy? Yeah, 4:30 River Bridge, just gorgeous sunrise here, which is nice to see. I mean, when I was coming in earlier, I could even see just as the sun was just barely coming up and it was getting lighter, I could see a little bit of blue in the sky. So very, very pretty. So that's what you have to look forward to right now. I don't know why it's on that. We are looking at the North Terminal Interchange. So it looks like there's no issues there. But yeah, just overall on our map, no problems. We'll get another look at what's going on with our traffic coming up.
All right, Ashley, thank you. Developing this morning, the fallout from tense moments outside the governor's mansion last month, tied to a visit from conservative activist Erica Kirk.
A trial date is now set for one of the people arrested after that confrontation March 11th. Authorities say Kirk's appearance drew about 36 protesters. When it escalated, some protesters began moving toward attendees returning to their cars. A fight broke out. State troopers assigned to the governor's security moved in, making at least 4 arrests.
One of those, Olivia Thompson, was back in Little Rock court this week. She is charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and obstructing government operations. She pleaded not guilty and remains free on bond with a trial date set for July 9th.
3 others were also arrested, Cameron Bone and Jennifer and Finley Hansen. Both Bone and Thompson face charges including obstructing government operations and resisting arrest.
Jennifer and Finley Hansen are each charged with second-degree battery. Bone and the Hansen sisters are scheduled to appear before a Pulaski County judge in May.
The Democratic nominee for Pulaski County judge is laying out new proposals that would tighten rules on building a large data center in the county. Wendell Griffin says the plan would add new regulatory requirements, and as THV 11's Tamer Knight breaks down the details, you'll see why.
Pulaski County Judge candidate Wendell Griffin unveiled a 3-part plan Wednesday to address the rise of high-intensity digital infrastructure projects.
These are not typical commercial developments. They operate at the scale of small communities and they place real demands on our electric grid, our water systems, our roads, and our emergency services.
According to Griffin, Pulaski County has no formal land use regulations addressing these types of developments.
I propose, therefore, that the Pulaski County Quorum Court adopt a resolution with appropriate legislative findings and classify high-intensity digital infrastructure facilities as heavy industrial uses based on their infrastructure demand, their operational intensity, and the land use impacts.
Secondly, he proposes
I am proposing a quorum court resolution that establishes a regional infrastructure impact policy for large-scale industrial and digital infrastructure development in the Sweet Home and Port of Little Rock corridor.
Lastly, Griffin proposes a countywide ordinance requiring large-scale projects to go through a conditional use permit process to ensure infrastructure capacity is in place and that costs aren't passed on to taxpayers. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
Griffin, by the way, beat the incumbent Pulaski County Judge Barry Hyde in last month's Democratic primary and now faces Republican Michael Rushin in November. Any of his proposals would still need approval from the Pulaski County Quorum Court before they take effect.
We are following a major housing push out of Pine Bluff this morning, where city leaders are moving forward with a proposal aimed at holding landlords more accountable for property conditions. The ordinance would allow the city to fine landlords up to $1,000 if rental homes fall below basic safety standards, including issues with water, electricity, and general upkeep. Supporters say it's needed to address deteriorating housing and protect renters in a city where more than 40% of homes are renter occupied. However, critics argue the ordinance is too broad and unclear about who exactly is responsible when violations happen.
It raises serious concerns for the responsible property owners and for the fair, lawful enforcement of city power. The ordinance does not clearly protect the landlord from being cited anyway.
We want to turn our city around. We have to set standards for ourselves, and we have to hold people accountable to follow those standards.
It is now headed for a final council vote on May 4th as officials and landlords remain split over how it would be enforced. If approved, the city says fines would apply only when landlords fail to meet state-required housing standards. 6:07 this morning, President Trump says peace talks with Iran are now stalled, and he is doubling down, saying the conflict ends if Iran gives up its nuclear program. President also revealing he turned down help from Russia's President Vladimir Putin, who offered to remove enriched uranium from Iran. That comes as the Pentagon weighs new military options, with Axios reporting a possible briefing for the president soon. The Kremlin is also warning any further U.S. strikes could have global consequences. Meanwhile, the Pentagon says the 9-week conflict has cost $25 billion taxpayer dollars, pushing up gas prices and inflation here at home, also factoring into the Fed's decision to hold interest rates steady once again. Now, House Republicans are moving closer to breaking the standoff over Homeland Security funding after approving a key budget step. Now, that move unlocks special reconciliation powers, allowing them to pass billions for ICE and Border Patrol without Democratic support. The Senate already approved the same blueprint, clearing the path for a final funding bill. Now, House Republicans are pressuring the Senate to act, warning they won't fund the rest of Homeland Security without the immigration money.
Also this morning, the Supreme Court is throwing out a Louisiana congressional map that added a second majority black district, calling it unconstitutional gerrymandering. The case now heads back to a lower court, but with ballots already going out, it's unclear what happens next this late in the election cycle. The ruling lands as redistricting fights ramp up nationwide and could make it tougher to prove discrimination under the Voting Rights Act. Now let's go back to meteorologist Tracy Bean and look at the forecast today.
Yeah, we're starting out a little cool this morning. We got a beautiful sunrise out there, and we are seeing those all across. I'm going around all the iDrive cameras trying to find all the pretty ones so I can post them. Send me yours, 501-376-1111. I would love to see it. Don't forget your name and where you're watching from. But if you are lucky enough to have the day off, we are going to see a nice day ahead, a bit more cloud cover as we're heading into the afternoon. Maybe you're headed to Oaklawn, looking for those temperatures to really max out into the upper 60s, so a bit cooler for this time of year. Now your Friday is going to be cloudy. We could see a few rain showers mainly along the border of Arkansas and Louisiana. Don't expect much from those. And those highs once again in the mid to upper 60s. And the weekend, well, the weekend's looking beautiful. It is nice. It is delightful. It is all the things. It is also chilly in the morning. Make sure you wear a jacket as you're heading out the door, but the afternoon's nice and sunny.